Hello everybody, and hello to you also. And I'm really appreciated I can be there today. So thanks you, and I'm looking forward for today interview and podcast. Doesn't matter. Just
Doesn't matter. Okay, perfect.
doesn't
Thanks
matter.
a lot. So just let's start. Just if you could a little bit explain what does it mean, the industrialization consultant and as well the interim. I think for many of the people, they don't know what's going on. So please introduce a little bit what you are doing. Yeah.
Definitely. Your question or answer for your question is almost simple and also almost difficult. Depends on how exactly as you said, how the people know this field and this part of the industry. Generally said, by the simple way, I can say that I helping the companies with each kind of industrial automation. So you can imagine like production lines and production workstations from simple table for the operators up to the bigger production lines. And I'm trying to meet the word of the suppliers of this equipment and the companies as a customers together and be more efficient in this field and in providing of the new equipment and so on, and setting everything around, of course.
Okay, and now tell me a little bit about your past, yeah, because I'm pretty sure this is not your first job. So just briefly describe what were your, jobs before. What have you done?
Yes, definitely. I think that it will be more sensible after I describe what I've done in the past to understand what I'm doing today. Generally said, I can say that I grew up in technical field from childhood because I'm grandson of the engineer, perfect engineer from the father side, and a brilliant carpenter from the mother side. So yeah, from the early years, I spent in the technology field. I studied engineering, and I can say that all my career or all my professional life I spent in production companies or production industry in most cases. So yeah, just for example, I worked for a company Bombardier. Today you know it as Alstom, producer of the train or personal trains, and for another company which develop these trains, not the personal one but the cargo vehicles, but it's still the similar technology. Also in quite a bit in petrochemical industry for a company which producing and developing the cooling systems, the cooling towers and so on. And of course, several years in the automotive field itself, in position of suppliers tier one, tier two. Companies like, for example, Benešalát there in Czech Republic, which is supplier of injection molding components from the plastic and from the aluminum and from the zinc, if I remember correctly, and so on. Or, for example, for AIC, today known as Aurea, if I remember correctly, and I think that you know it very well
I
because
know
we
it. Yeah,
almost
I've been working there in the management for 6 years. Yeah, in the
yes.
European as a European
So
regional manager for Linia. So of course I know it.
yes, yes. We spoke about it a few months ago that we almost met there together, but skip several months, maybe years, and so on. So for this from this automotive field, and also I spent several years in company like, for example, Crofian, which is supplier of this automation, or producer and supplier of this automation, like a production lines and so on. So as I said, all my career I spent in industry field, and most of these professions were around the automation or some kind of the automation or equipment for this one, as I said, like the production lines and so on. And I had a good chance to know this field from both sides. I mean that from the side of the production companies, which they are using this kind of the equipment, and in the field of the producer of this equipment. So I had a perfect chance to know the positive and also the negative side. I mean, that the point which they are pain point for both sides. I know what they are fighting for and so on, their needs. And today, what I'm doing is just I'm staying or sitting directly in the middle of these two fields and trying to how can I say met that together a little bit closer and understood what opposite side needs and what they have as a possibilities and so on. So that's what I'm
Where do
doing.
you, where do you see the biggest challenge in the industry? You mentioned you have great experience in automotive, yeah, and Czech Republic is one of the biggest car producer per capita, I think, together with Slovakia. Where do you see the challenge that your industry is now facing?
Yeah, where to start? There is so many. No, be serious. Definitely, automotive field in the European region. Probably a lot of people know that this industry facing to several struggling points today. One is the pressure from the for example China producers and so on, and impact of this and other countries and regions into our market. And from the opposite side, there is a huge bureaucracy and probably I can say aggressive green politics and so on. And this is the mixture or that mixture which makes all these products, especially the cars, more expensive. And when they need to fight with cheap cars from another countries, and because still the decision maker on the end is the customer on the market, and not the dream of somebody. So that's something what I think that the automotive field facing now. So everything is changing really fast, and so on. And of course, as many years before, the same today. I mean, the communication and the effectivity is still the one of the biggest points which are making troubles for a lot of the companies. And it's not only the automotive, because in the middle of the Europe, especially, we are in the Czech Republic. And most of the companies are directly or indirectly connected to the automotive field. So, yeah, that's what I feel from my side. Maybe you can fill it by another point.
Yeah, I can see, of course, for more than 20 years in the industry, I think the majority was also the automotive. Yeah, a part of 6 years, the majority was in automotive. Always the industry. I have, as well as a consultant, some jobs in the services, but always my heart was in the industry. Yeah? And what I can see is really now since the COVID, the last 3 years, there was then this missing components as well. But I think that one of it is that we are not too much proactive in facing these issues. I think that I can see a lot of the guys, also a lot of the CEOs, not making the decisions. And I think, and this is where I'm really looking, around. I'm really looking what's going on in China, what's going on in US, and they are much faster in making the decisions. And I think that we in Europe, we should be much better to really start to be faster in implementation, and really faster in everything what's going on. And I think the industrialization and digitalization and AI and all of that, we should be much faster. And that's probably my next question to you, because for me, industrialization is sort of two things, from manual to robotics. Yeah, from manual to automate lines. You even mention it. Yeah, as well, using probably some augmented reality tools, using virtual reality, using AI, all of that. Yeah, how do you feel this field in your? Do you see that the companies are now requiring more of that, or they are not as fast as you would like to have them?
Mm. To be honest, to be
Be
honest,
honest, yes.
to be honest, I didn't see it so much. As you mentioned, the flexibility is one of the key points which needs to be handled off. I mean that yeah, I've spent in the industry 15 years, so it's a little bit less than you spend there. But I when I count how many times I see for something like a crisis management or some strategies, and or how can I say, the approach to the flexibility, I can count it in my hands. I think that it's still something which cannot be, for the investments and for the decisions, everybody needs to know what it brings to me. And I said sometimes you cannot set the value what is exactly now brings to you, but it's probably save your company. Yeah,
Exactly.
so you can be there after the 5 years. That's the what these things brings to you. And yeah, I really a huge fan of the new technologies, especially in the data collection and all these digitalization, big data, AI, and so on. But I'm also quite a bit skeptic or passive with approach, because what I see in a lot of the companies is that this is something like when you are buying the electric car. If
Mhm.
you are owner of the nice house, you have the EV panels on the roof, you have the battery in the house, and you have all these ecosystem completed. The purchasing of the electric car is just a piece to the nice puzzle, and everything goes well. But what when you are living in 5th floor in the apartment, and you are traveling 500 kilometers per day,
Mhm.
this puzzle is not suitable for you. And I think that that's exactly all these big data, digitalization, and so on. These tools are really powerful, and technologies are really powerful. But in most of the cases, I met the companies where it's necessary to do several steps before you come to this one. You know,
Mhm.
when you have absolutely not set up the standards, when you have don't know the roles inside, when you have not the borders and responsibilities between the departments, and set up the processes, and when you are not efficient, it's nice to have and spend several thousands, maybe millions, into the digitalization and so on.
Mhm.
But what it brings to you. So yes, I think that company needs to open their approach to these technologies, but maybe together or after they will focus for efficiency as itself. Because, as you mentioned, the flexibility and efficiency now is crucial more than before. Because the times when the tier one, tier two supplier signed a contract, yeah, perfect volumes for following 7 years, nice, and we can do it. Yes, but how it's probably that this contract will be the same today and tomorrow. Because you can see what's happening on the automotive field, actually, especially on the EV cars and so on. So people from this field can see how much for example, volumes of the produced parts dropping down, because a lot of the things needs to be changed. So you signed last year nice contract, but now without the orders, without the volumes. Yes, you can fight with the lowers and so on, but that's not the point for making it a good job and earn the money. So you need to be flexible. You need to have a plan, or not plan, but you need to be able to handle with this when this happen, and it will happen more and more than before. So yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, I
That's
think
my point of
what I
view.
like, and I have one of my sentences always when the companies are coming, and we want to have the digital world, and I'm always saying, please, first set up the processes. Please
Mhm.
look where if you are efficient, and please don't digital the mess, because you are even creating. When you put something manual and when you just make it automized, then you just make it like with the data collection, you just make a mess. Yeah. So for
Mhm.
me, it's really important that to have this awareness, and this is maybe something what I'm missing. Is really awareness for the heads of these companies to really say, okay, to really I fully understand what's going on. I really understand that first I need to have the efficiency, and then I can make it digital, and like this. But this is what I don't see.
Mhm.
I got
Yes,
one of
yes.
I got one of the offer, and they just say, please, I would like that you choose out of these hundreds of these IT solutions. Please, find me the solution. And I said, okay, the first, I'm the IT economics. I studied it, but 25 years ago. And please make sure, when you will be asking and requesting all these IT company, all of these companies will tell you our solution is the best there. And
Mm.
of course, and you need to have somebody who is independent and who knows that first understand the processes and then make it digital. So this, I would say that this is something what I don't see too much often, and I'm quite set of that, because a lot of companies, they think if they just go digital, all the issues are gone, and this is not true.
Yes, 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 yes. Exactly. I have to agree. And another thing is what you can imagine about the digital. Yeah? So, because I also saw many times that the expectations are extreme and investments are extreme and so on. But another thing is that the data collection or digitalization or industrialization generally, I mean, the automation of the processes and so on, it's not equal to months of the work or years of the work and spending the millions into that. Yeah, because doing that you can choose many ways how to do it, how to approach it, how to go step by step, and so on. Yeah, because especially about the data collection depends on what you need to collect and
Mhm.
which data really helps you or your company in the current situation. What is the bottleneck? What is the pain point which you need to solve? And for that, you cannot invest completely to the new hardware and completely change the IT and so on, especially today when the technology is coming day by day. Yes, not only about the AI but tools which is based on the AI. Everything what needs to be done really complexly a few years ago can be now solved by, how can I say, simpler ways. Not every time, but in most of the cases. So when I spoke about the flexibilities, I don't spoke only about the management of the companies or only about the sales of the companies, but also about the IT, because IT in these companies, this industrialization, respectively, producers and suppliers of in the field of tier one, tier two, tier three, the IT managers or the IT departments needs to be one of the most flexible, because when you learn something last year how to implement, this year is different. Yes, and when you compare with, how can I say, bone access or with level of the bureaucracy which is in these companies, is it's really crucial, because you start with something which spent 1 year of implementation, but after the 1 year is absolutely everything different. So you need to know how to handle it. Yeah. So yes, I'm really a huge fan of the technologies and implementation into the companies, but needs to be careful. And the approach of the companies needs to be definitely more open. Especially, in nice example is the AI itself, like the ChatGPT
Mhm.
and so on. You need to be careful what they are putting inside. But on the opposite side, your administrative, your THP workers can be rapidly more effective using these technologies in some, how can I say, level of the care.
Mhm.
But what I saw is it's 90% absolutely, how can I say, negative approach to that, and we will not use that, and we have no time for that, and so on. I think that, for example, Microsoft nicely take into hands the situation which comes with the Copilot into the
Mhm.
Microsoft Office package, and makes the AI more accessible for these companies. Even that I don't think that Microsoft will invest so many energy and money into the Copilot, because the Microsoft is one of the biggest investor in the OpenAI and ChatGPT, so it's
Mhm.
fighting on the two ways. But yeah, I think that definitely this is, if not now, later will be the game changer. And if some of the companies, I think that it will make not drastic impact to the into the industry or into this field, but I think that this will be impact in the competitive fight, once one company fully understood and fully, or probably not fully, but rapidly more than others, use this approach to be more efficient and use these tools, for example, for setuping of the processes or for tuning of the processes and for some analysis and mind maps and so on, that it will be in the competition fight on
Yeah, it
absolutely
will be.
different
Yeah, it
level.
will be big advantage.